I get this. Good morning. Yeah, so one of the things we all know is that change is a constant in life, and most of us, except for a wet baby, don't like change. But change, of course, can be a good thing. And in fact, if we're not changing, we should probably be taking our pulse. But speaking of our pulse, what I really want to remind us of is this 10th cranial nerve called the vagus nerve. And it actually means the wandering nerve. It starts in the medulla oblongata, which is in your brain stem. And it goes all the way down your spine. And it is key to not only, well, to the brain-gut axis, but it actually innervates and regulates all of our important systems, from our heart to our lungs, our kidneys, our spleen, liver. It's super important. And the other reason that I'm focusing on the vagus nerve is because it's an important part of the parasympathetic nervous system. And as life continues to challenge us, and we are Canadian, we can rise to the occasion, and we are rising to the occasion. It's still important that we maintain, or at least modulate, our nervous system. So yoga, of course, today we are going to focus on activating our vagus nerve. But things like just taking a walk in nature, super important for your vagus nerve. Breathing with awareness, because when we only breathe into our chest or shallow breathe, that's a sign to your nervous system that you should be either frightened, in flight, or fighting. So I can't even overemphasize the connection between the breath and your mental, emotional state. So I have chairs around the room, and for those practicing at home, just eyeball a chair for later on, because we're going to do some breathing exercises, because again, as I say, that is the link. You can change your mental and emotional state just by practicing belly breathing, like a baby, okay? But we're gonna get started on our backs, please. So lie down, and I just want to warm up our lower backs and also just warm up our knees for some of the postures that we're going to do today that will innervate and help regulate this very important vagus nerve, as I said, from the brain stem all the way into your gut. So bend your knees, place the soles of your feet at the edges of your mat. You can take your arms out to the side, perhaps lift your shoulder blades up and tuck them under your heart, tilting your chin towards the center of your chest to lengthen the back of your neck. And just spend a moment here breathing. And if you're not sure if you're breathing all the way into your belly, it's so yoga to put your hand on your belly to notice if it's rising on your inhale and falling on your exhale. Inhaling, belly rising. Exhaling, letting your belly drop. And how about taking a pause at the end of your exhalation? And then breathing in again. And breathing out. Through your nose if you can, pausing at the end of your exhalation. And just inhale again, and just do a couple more of these. What I want you to notice is after your exhalation and your pausing, check in with your mind. There's probably nothing going on. When we pause at the end of an exhalation, almost impossible to think about anything. It's extraordinary. And next week's class, when I won't be here, I'll be elsewhere, and I will describe it to you. You're going to do some mind yoga. But this is a great place to start. Pausing at the end of an exhalation, notice the cessation of thought. Wow. That's like going from 100 miles an hour to 0 in just a heartbeat. And I'm reading a book right now called Why We Meditate. Daniel Goleman, along with a Tibetan Buddhist teacher, whose name I cannot pronounce at this moment, but the book is called Why We Meditate. One of the things they talk about is the speed with which we're moving through our lives. So take one more inhale, and then with your feet, legs bent, feet on the edges of your mat, drop both knees over towards the left. And just hang out here for a moment. And the thing is that sometimes our speediness goes unnoticed because we start living life in high gear. Inhaling, come back to center, and then we wonder why we can't sleep, why we're on edge, why we're impatient. Inhaling in the center, exhaling, dropping both knees over to the right. It's just normal. We're in a hurry. And you know what? Driving around Toronto these days, it's not lost on anybody that there are a whole bunch of people in a hurry. I don't know if they're going somewhere important, if they have anything to do. Important, I have a feeling they're just stuck in high gear. That's the way to go. You speed up to the red light, speed up to the stop sign, speed up behind the person in front of you. Inhaling, come back to center. Exhale, drop both knees again over to the left, and if it feels okay, place your left ankle on top of your right knee. So I want to do a couple of knee warm-ups. This would be one of them. Knees are these sensitive joints. They're a hinge joint. They're different than the shoulder and the hip, which are ball and socket joints. Your knee is a hinge joint. Basically going forwards and backwards, a little bit of sideways movement, but not too much. And then release that top foot, place it back down on the edge of your mat. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, both knees over to the other side, and lift up your right foot or ankle and place it on top of your left knee. And if that feels like too much, please just remove the foot, place it back on the edge of your mat. Inhaling, come back to the center, draw your right knee up into your chest and then your left knee, and do a little rocking from side to side. Extend your left leg down in front. Draw your right knee in towards your chest with your left hand on the outside of your right knee. Draw it across your body. So you're twisting through the lower back. Perhaps your right arm is out to the side. Breathing into your glutes, your butt muscles. And inhale, come back to the center and draw your left knee in and extend your right leg down in front with your right hand on the outside of your left knee. Draw it across your body, twisting. Just going to turn up the heat a little bit. Breathing. Just the act of deep breathing activates your vagus nerve. Inhaling, coming back to the center. And now I want to do a supine pigeon pose. So keeping your knees bent with your feet flat on the floor, bring your left ankle on top of your right knee. Left ankle on top of right knee. Bring your right knee towards you. Interlock the fingers or interlace them behind your right knee. If it's accessible, you can bring your fingers around to the front of your right shin, but it's not necessary. You can interlace your fingers behind your right thigh, warming up the knee joint. Oh, we're doing a lot more than that. We're getting into our hips, of course. Externally rotating the hip. And then cross that top knee tightly over the bottom leg. Take your arms out to the side and drop both knees over to the right side. Inhaling, come back to the center, uncross, place your right ankle on top of your left knee. Right ankle on left knee. So your right leg is bent, knee is bent, right ankle on top of left knee, and then bring your left knee towards you. Again, interlace your fingers behind your left knee. If it's accessible, you can bring your fingers around the front of your left shin. You want to be able to keep your head and your shoulder blades on the mat. Breathing into whatever part of your body is holding the most tension. In this case, it's likely to be your right hip. Breathe into it. And if you did place your hands around the front of your shin and it's getting too intense, bring them back and place them behind the thigh. And breathe. And then cross that top knee tightly over the bottom. Take your arms out to the side and drop both knees over to the left. Inhale, come back to the center. And we're going to rock ourselves back up over and coming over onto our knees. Boy, did I ever make a lot of notes today. What can I tell you? I'm a student of this topic and I just love it. Okay, come on over onto your knees. Curl your toes under and press up and just gently walk your dog. Gently walking your dog. So one knee bent, the other one straight. And then walk your feet towards your hands or vice versa. You can bring your hands back towards your feet. Keep your knees soft. Have your feet parallel and about hip width apart. Please let your head hang, relaxing your neck, stretching out your lower back. Keep your knees soft, let your arms hang, let your head hang. And then pressing into the floor, slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. And then draw your shoulders up to your ears, exhale and roll them back. All right, we are going to be mountains. So Tadasana, mountain pose. Rooted and grounded through the soles of your feet. So have your feet hip width apart and your feet are parallel to one another. Absolutely parallel. They're not pointing out a little bit. They're actually pointing straight forward. So you have really good alignment, really good strength. Pressing the soles of your feet into the floor, lift your toes off the floor. Feel your big toe mount, your baby toe mount, center front of your heel. And then lift your sternum away from your pelvic floor. Pull your arms, pits down, shoulders down, reaching up through the crown of your head. Think of being a mountain, reaching for new heights and rising above it all. Keep your chin parallel to the floor. We can rise above it all. Last week I talked about everything out there. If there's an out there, there's an in here. Okay? So inside of your mountain is peace, calm, grounded, centeredness, knowingness. Whether you know or not, it's there. Eyes can be open or closed, fixed on an imaginary horizon. Inhale, sweep the arms up, Parahastasana. So now we're reaching, allowing the energy from the cosmos to enter into the right side of the body through the right hand. Goes into the body. It is received into the left side of the body. You may even feel some energy in your right hand. If you close your eyes, you might be feeling a little bit of tingling in your right hand, receiving energy. Earth telluric energy through the soles of your feet. Thighs are engaged, feet rooted and grounded, rising above it all. Feeling the calm, enjoying the view, whether it's inside or outside of your being. Turn your palms out and slowly release your arms down. And just once again, close your eyes for a moment. You may be feeling the energy in the palms of your hands, maybe even elsewhere in your bodies. Okay, give your legs a shake out. Another way of grounding and activating the vagus nerve is through malasana. Now, for malasana, and I'll just show you a couple of options here. The true malasana, you're going to turn your feet out and you're going to drop your hips down and you're going to bring your hands inside. Now, for some of us, that doesn't work very well, does it? Couple of things you can do. You can roll up the back of your mats and then place your heels on the outside of your mat. That's one option. Another option is to take your cushions or your blocks, depending on what depth you can release, and you can hang out comme ça. How about that? So you want to try and place your heels on the floor if you can. And Rob's having a look here. You talking to my heels? Yeah. So this is why I wanted to do the warm-up for the knees. This is the only real knee deal here. Ooh. And slowly come up, walk your feet in towards one another, and just hang out for a moment once again in Uttanasana. Keep your knees soft. If you can, take hold of your elbows, maybe a little gentle swinging from side to side. And then release your arms. Keep your knees soft. Slowly roll up to standing. Tucking your chin into your chest and letting your head be the last thing to come up. Half sun salutations. Feet will be static. They'll stay in one spot. Hip width apart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Turn the palms out, swan dive onto your thighs, bending your knees, coming into that tuck position, fingertips tented on the floor. Inhale, lift your hips up, let the crown of your head float down. Exhale, drop your hips, shoulders back, long spine. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Turn the palms out, float your arms down, taking up lots of space. Inhale, turn the palms out, exhale. Really come into a nice tuck position. Feel your torso, your belly on your thighs. Inhale, let the crown of your head float down. Lift your tailbone up. Exhale, bend your knees, drop your hips, shoulders back. Nice long spine. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Exhale, turn the palms out, float your arms down. Inhale. Turn the palms out, exhale. Inhale, lift your hips. Have a look right now at where your feet are. Are they aligned with your knees? Are your feet too wide? So you want your ankles, your knees, and your hips to be aligned. Exhale, drop your hips, shoulders back. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Exhale, float your arms down. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift your hips, let the crown of your head float down. Now bend your right leg. Bend your right leg, keep your left leg straight. Place your left hand. Well, hang on, I'm trying to do the mirror image. I'm not going to do that now. Okay, so right leg is bent, left leg is straight. You're going to place your right hand on your left instep. Right hand on left instep. Inhale, sweep the other arm up. So that should be your left arm sweeping up. Exhale, float it down. Let's change. Let's bend the left leg, straighten the right. Place your left hand on your right instep. Inhale, sweep the other arm up, reaching up and stretching up. Exhale, float it down. Both knees are bent. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Exhale, hands in prayer to your heart center. And give your legs a good shake out. Come on up to the fronts of your mats. Take a sip of water whenever you feel the need. Warrior. Talk about grounding, talk about strengthening, building resilience, fortitude. These qualities, we always need them, quite frankly, especially the older we get. Step your right leg back. And by the way, we get older, but we never have to feel old. Ever. Okay? Up here. Okay, so bend that front knee. Make sure you can see your big toe inside of your knee so your knee is tracking over your middle toes. Really important. This knee loves to just collapse. Don't let it. Keep that inner thigh muscle activated. Press into the outside of your back foot. And then keep your torso right, upright, shoulders over hips. Inhale, sweep the arms up to shoulder height. Exhale, lower your shoulders, lengthen your neck. Be a proud warrior. Breathing, reaching. Feel the strength and power in your legs. Lower your back arm, down your back leg, and reach that top arm up. Looking up, stretching up, energy up. Returning to warrior 2. Lower your front forearm onto your front thigh. Take this back arm and windmill it around the front of your body, and then over your ear, reaching and stretching so you have a line of energy from the outside of your back foot, along your body, right out through that top arm and fingers. You can almost feel the strength and the power coming up through your feet into your legs. Yeah, you might start to be wobbling, but know that this is energy flowing, strengthening, galvanizing, and of course, working on balance in Parsvottanasana, side angle bend. Take that arm back down the way it came and come back to warrior 2. Be mindful that that front knee is tracking over the middle front toes and that you are still pressing into the outside of your back foot. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lower your arms. Bring that back leg forward. Step your left leg back, one leg length. Have the heel of your front foot create a straight line through the arch of your back foot. Step apart your feet at least one leg length. Otherwise, it's hard to pull off a really good warrior. Okay? So your front foot's 90 degrees, your back foot is about 30, 40 degrees. Bend your front knee. Don't let your body go with it. Keep your shoulders right over your hips. Inhale, sweep the arms up to shoulder height, and then lower your shoulders. Let that stretch originate between your shoulder blades. And fix your gaze over your front right hand. Stay lifted in the sternum, dropping your tailbone, fixing your gaze over your front middle fingers. Draw your bellies in. A lot of work through the core here. Obviously, shoulders, legs, pretty much a full body exercise, balance as well. And then lower your back arm down your back leg and reach your front arm straight up. Try not to crunch through the waist area by reaching and stretching up. The emphasis is up, not down. Become aware that your inner thigh adductor muscles are remaining active by pressing the front knee towards the outside of your mat and pressing into the outside of your back foot. And returning to warrior 2. Keeping the torso straight up and down. No leaning forward. Feels like we should be, but please resist. Keep pressing into the outside of your back foot. Fixing your gaze over your front fingers. And then lower your front forearm onto your front thigh. Take that back arm down, around, and over your ear. Palm faces the floor. So your top arm is reaching right over your ear. Turn and open the side of your body, the front of your body to the side of your mat. Energy through those fingers. Nice, Maggie. Breathing. Feel that stretch through the side of your body, right from the outside of your back foot along your body and right out through those fingertips. Can you stretch just a little bit more and straighten things out? Inhale, come back to warrior two. Inhale, lower your arms, bring your legs together and give them a good shake out. Horse pose, chair. So feet, your big toes can almost be touching in this posture, but your heels, of course, will be slightly apart. Inhale, lifting up in the sternum. Exhale, drop your bum back. Transfer most of your weight into your heels. Arms can be shoulder height with palms facing down, or they can be up by your ears with your palms facing one another. Whatever feels best for you. But the weight is mostly in your heels. There's some in the front of your foot. Exhale, forward fold. Let your heads hang. Inhale, come halfway up. Place your hands on your shins. Lengthen your torso. Exhale, forward fold. Let your heads hang. Bend your knees, drop your hips, transfer your weight in towards your heels, the back of your foot. Reach your arms up. Chair pose, horseman's pose, Utkatasana. Feel those powerful thighs and glutes working. Exhale, forward fold. Let your heads hang. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fingertips to the floor. And then come down onto your knees. Take your knees as wide as your mat. Coming into child's pose, flatten the tops of your feet. Slowly draw your hips back towards your heels, releasing your torso between your thighs. If you need elevation, you can fold your forearms one on top of the other. You can stack your fists, or perhaps just allow your head to rest on the floor. This is also a great posture for regulating the vagus nerve. It's calming to the system. Remember, the branches of the vagus nerve are innervating the heart, liver, spleen, kidneys, intestines. A lot of the functions of these organs are autonomic. They're part of your autonomic nervous system. We don't think about our heartbeat, our blood pressure. These things happen on their own, and when we're healthy, everything is tickety-boo. When we're not, there are ways to mitigate, modulate, regulate all of these functions through our breathing and our yoga practice. And inhale, come on up. Okay, so I want you to take your cushion, place it off to the left. And we're just going to do a supported twisting pose. To start with, take your arms out to the side, draw your knees up into your chest. If you can, try to make 90-degree angles with your upper legs to your torso and your bottom part of your leg to the lower part of the leg. So what I'd like you to do is inhale in place. Your back is neutral, so it's not quite on the floor, nor are you letting it be in its concave position. You want it neutral, so it's active. You can feel your core activated, your abdominal muscles. And then lower both knees together and let them land on the cushion. If it feels okay for your arms to stay out at shoulder height, if not, you can take probably your right arm would be the one that might be experiencing some discomfort. Place it where it feels comfortable. Again, notice your breathing. Stretching helps activate the breath to circulate more deeply and fully throughout the body. Take your cushion now as you bring your knees back to the center and place the cushion on the other side. Again, your legs are at right angles to each other and to the body. Inhaling in place. Lower back is neutral. It's not pressing into the floor, nor is it rounding through the lumbar. You can feel your abdominal muscles activated when your lower back is in neutral. Inhaling in place, exhale, dropping both knees onto your cushion. And again, adjusting your arms if need be. So we know about the feel-good hormones like serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, oxytocin. Oxytocin's the hugging hormone. So you hug somebody, if you hang in there for a few seconds, your body starts to produce a feel-good hormone called oxytocin. Serotonin is a neurohormone, but 90% of it's actually made in your gut. And when it comes to making these happy hormones, tryptophan is the substance that is needed to produce all of your happy hormones. And tryptophan is found in some pretty common foods like turkey, tofu, nuts and seeds, cheese, eggs. Maybe why we crave some of these foods, because they make us feel good, producing tryptophan. Inhale, come back to center. Now, I want you to scoot your body over to the right side of your mat and look above you and try and clear the space so that you're not going to, when you bring your arms over your heads. But so just have some space from your arms out at your side, shoulder height. You're going to take your arms, one arm, in a moment over your head. So knees are bent, inhaling in place, exhale, drop both knees over to the left. Knees are over to the left, your opposite arm, your right arm. You're going to inhale and attempt to drag it, or sweep it, I should say, better word, over your head, making a halo, a semicircle over your head, and bringing it all the way around to meet the other hand. So both hands are together in sideways prayer at shoulder height. So your knees and your arms are both on the same side right now. You're going to take that top arm, slowly sweep it over above your head like the arms of a clock, reaching up, exhale, taking it all the way back over to shoulder height. So both arms are on either side of the body now, but your knees are staying on the left side. And inhale one more time. Sweep that right arm up and over. Feel the stretch through the side of your body, reaching up, 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 and bringing it all the way around to meet the other arm. Now you're going to bring your top knee into your chest with your top hand. Okay? Top hand is holding the knee in towards your chest. You have one other hand. You're going to take hold of the big toe with your left hand, so you can use your peace fingers, and you're going to extend that leg right out to the side. So your top leg is extended out to the side. You're holding on to it as best you can. You're going to try to straighten the bottom leg. Won't necessarily be really straight. And then if possible, inhale that top right arm up to the sky. And slowly lower it back over to the right side. Now, if it doesn't want to go, just gently lower it and just bring it to the right side. Perhaps not shoulder height. Place it wherever it feels comfortable. So nice double twist for the spine in 2 different directions, but activating that vagus wandering nerve that starts in the brain stem, travels all the way down to the gut. One more breath here, and then on an inhale, release the toe, roll onto your back. Your left leg is already straight, arms beside your body. Slowly exhale and lower the right leg. Lower that right leg. Now, once that leg is down, does it feel like it's longer than the leg we didn't stretch? Mine does. So let's scooch the body over to the other side now of your mat. Take your arms out to shoulder height. Draw your knees up towards your chest. Slowly lower both knees over to the right side. All the way over to the right. So you're actually rolling onto your right hip. You're going to take your left arm on the opposite side, sweep it along the floor, reaching up and over, and bringing both hands together into prayer. And on an inhale, sweep that top arm back up and over. Opening the shoulder, the chest, taking it back to shoulder height. And last time, inhale, sweep that left arm all the way over behind your heads, coming over onto your right side. Draw the top knee into your chest with your top hand. Your bottom hand, your right hand, you're going to use your peace fingers to grab the big toe and extend the leg out to the side, straightening it as much as you're able, and then inhale the top arm up to the sky, exhale, open, or place that top left arm wherever it feels comfortable. If you have something to rest it on, might be helpful. If there's a block nearby or a cushion. Straighten your bottom leg. And on your next inhale, release, rolling onto your backs. Lift that side leg now up to the sky. Straighten yourself out on your mat and slowly lower that left leg back down onto the mat. And notice how, we hope, both legs are now matching up. They're both the same length. So you may be walking a little taller today after that stretch. Okay. So bring your knees into your chest and just gently rock from side to side. And then bring your hands underneath the backs of your thighs or roll over onto your side if that feels better. Let's grab a chair, place it on your mats. We're going to do one, maybe two breathing exercises. These are both excellent for calming the nervous system, and then we're going to finish up in a restorative yoga. So basically, I'll grab my chair. I would like your chair to be in a place where at the end of the class, rather than Shavasana, so I put chairs around the room. Yeah. Hopefully there's enough, and if there isn't, and if you're at home, you can use your sofa. Let me tell you, the sofa is really good for this. Okay, so just to start with, yeah, if you put your chairs at the back of your mats, that'll be perfect, because then you'll be all set up for the final posture. Okay, so I'm gonna, box breathing is something that has been so come on onto your chairs. So we're sitting in a chair. If you prefer to sit on the ground doing breathing exercises, fine, but for a lot of people, sitting in a chair. So when you're sitting in a chair, you definitely want the soles of your feet flat on the floor. So that means you may need to come to the edge of your chair, sitting up nice and tall. It's always important that your spine is very straight. And okay, what's my sister's texting me? What else is new? I'm going to punch her out, except she's in Florida, so how can I? Okay. This is what families are for. Keep us on our toes, huh? Okay, so box breathing, it's really simple. And this is the thing about breathing exercises. As I said, they are the link between what's going on in your mind, even what's going on in our hearts. If we really want to find our center and our groundedness, you can find it through your breath. So box is literally 4 counts in, hold, 4 counts out, hold. It's literally like a box. So close your eyes. You can place your hands on your laps. You can have your palms facing up if you like, whatever feels comfortable. I always like my palms up. I feel like I can potentially receive, but seriously, whatever feels good. What is important is that your shoulders are relaxed, your spine is long, including your neck, and the soles of your feet are flat on the floor. And we'll begin with an exhale. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. On your own, 4 counts in. Hold for 4. Exhale. Pause for 4. Inhale. Hold for 4. Exhale. Pause. Okay, so that is one way to really try to find our center. And as I said, they've had great success with this breathing with people who've come back from wars, who have PTSD. These people have reported that it really helps calm their nerves. Now, sometimes we need energy, and the energy from the sun can be had by breathing in through the right nostril, Surya. Okay, so you're going to take the thumb of your left hand and you're going to block your left nostril. And you only need to block between the cartilage and the flesh. And basically, you're only breathing in through the right nostril. So you're drawing in the energy of the sun into the right side of the body, the masculine, warming side of the body. So you're blocking the left nostril, and you're going to inhale on the right, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. And try 6 more rounds on your own, just breathing in and out of the right nostril. You can almost visualize a little flame in Manipur in your solar plexus growing. And release that hand down and keep your eyes closed for a moment just to observe. And if you didn't feel anything, please don't judge what's going on. There's so much going on inside of us. Most of the time we have no idea. And we all know the alternate nostril breathing, which we're not going to practice now. We'll do it another time. But remember, alternate nostril can help balance both sides of your body, your masculine, your feminine, your heating, your cooling. And we know when we do Nadi Shodhanan that you're blocking and inhaling through one side, then blocking the other side and exhaling. Okay, 2 other exercises. Bastrika. Now, I don't often teach bellow breathing, but again, this is hugely energizing to Manipur. So you might want to put one of your hands on your belly, and as you inhale, your belly should just totally blow out, and as you exhale, you're going to pull your belly in, and you can think of it like bellows breathing. So always done through the nose. This is where it helps to have a belly. Okay, so we're going to wrap. Now, you may feel a little lightheaded from this too, but this is normal because we're not used to taking in so much oxygen. We're a little bit lazy when it comes to breathing, and we don't often realize that it's probably the best tool we have for modulating our nervous system, our mental states. Okay, so because I want you to help you get settled into this, we've got 6 minutes left. You're going to place your chair at the end of your mat, and if you have a couple blocks, and I would also advise that you put something under your sacrum. So if you're at home, and in fact, when you are at home, and by the way, if you have socks or anything you want to put on, now would be a good time to put it on. You're going to bring your legs, and if you have a mask you want to put on, an eye mask, but basically you want your feet to be comfortable on the chair. I suggest supporting your sacral area with a cushion. And the other thing to do, and I can bring iPads around to you, is to place your hands, and if your legs are a little bit longer, you can place your feet a little bit wider on the chair. But basically, you want the chair to hit about the back of your knee. And I've put blocks under my hands, and I've put my meditation cushion under my sacrum. And then you're going to lift your shoulder blades up, tuck them under, lengthening your neck with your chin pointing towards the center of your chest. Just the act of elevating your hands, elevating your legs and your sacrum helps to draw your energy back into your core. Your core is where so much happens, where we digest. But we're doing this in a restful position. So take the time, if you need, to sort yourself out, to have your shoulders relaxed. As I said, if your hands can be just slightly elevated on the blocks, let your legs rest. So this is part of restorative yoga. And today, with so much information and activity all around us, swirling around, seemingly speedier, faster, it's more important than ever that we take control of our nervous system, our mental states, our emotional beings, to know how to maintain equanimity, it's truly a form of self-care. So be sure to be aware without controlling how your breathing is moving by paying attention to our breath. We give the mind something to do. It is said that Buddha has about 84,000 different teachings or dharmas. Many of those teachings can be summed up in a couple of statements, all about knowing your mind and having some control over the activity of your mind. By focusing on your breathing, the mind has something to do. It gives you a time out. An opportunity perhaps to empty out. To let go. To practice discernment, viveka, the ability to know what we can control and what we can't. But not to underestimate the power of the mind with intention. Being intentional about our thought power. Focusing on virtues. In fact, in yoga, we talk about the importance of the cultivation of virtues and the eradication of vices. And we all know what these are. So perhaps using the last couple of moments to set an intention for your day. It doesn't have to be an activity. It might even be to become more aware of your breathing. It can be anything at all. And typically, if you were practicing this at home, a minimum of 10 minutes, maximum of an hour, you will feel as though you have been transported to some beautiful, ethereal place and be incredibly and thoroughly refreshed. Slowly, when you're ready, remove your cushions. You're welcome to stay in this posture as long as you like. Slowly, though, moving. If you wish, and you don't have to express this mantra out loud, you can say it internally, but join me and all of us in chanting Om just once to close this practice today. Inhaling in place. Om Shanti Namaste.